Hello and welcome to this series of the laws of the universe, and this is law number 3, right? So today I'm going to be talking about the law of polarity. It's quite an exciting video. I encourage you to watch until the very end because this law will transform your life forever. Again, like I mentioned in the previous videos, knowing these laws gives you an edge in life. It puts you in a better position, right? So let's dive right into the law of polarity. Right, so welcome again to Mighty Success Blueprint. I'm really excited to have you here watching these videos. If you're watching these videos, actually means you've made up your mind to be very, very successful. And I'm using the words very successful because that's exactly what it is, as we are going to cover in this law, right? So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now so you don't miss content that will help you to grow as a person and of course to grow your business if you're interested in financial freedom, right? So subscribe and click the notifications bell so you don't miss any videos that I produce on a weekly basis. So back to the law of polarity, right? If you missed the other laws, by the way, you can check the links in the description and you'll find the law 0, which is the law of love. So in that, I talk about how to live above the law, right? Sounds like breaking the law, but it's not, right? How to live above the law. So have a look at law 0, look at law 1 and law number 2. So back to law number 3. So the law of polarity. The law of polarity states that there is two poles, right? So there is good and there is evil, right? It doesn't say there is good and there is something in between bad and good, right? It talks about good and evil. I like that distinction because it gives us a clear view of what to expect out of life, right? Like somebody said, if you don't pray for poverty, then pray for riches, right? So that's very important because we've been sold all of these kind of things of, the existence of the middle class and all of these kind of things. But you, my friend who is watching this video, there is no such a thing as the middle class. You're either rich or very poor. The difference is very many rich people are living the poor life. So maybe that's another talk for another day. But hey, Newton actually gave us a summary of the law of polarity. He said, everything has an equal but opposite reaction. So that's very, very important to understand. So in looking at these laws, it's not just for us to have a bunch of, knowledge that we store up in our heads and then maybe we become very happy about it. No, it's basically to understand how to navigate life, whether as an entrepreneur or as an individual. It doesn't matter what you do, but you've got to have some wisdom to navigate life the right way so you can get the very best results in everything that you do. And so that's why I use the words very best, because there is no such a thing as, I tried. You either, were successful and, or you gave up. And I'm saying gave up because gave up could mean failure, right? It actually means to fail, right? So if you're still trying and if you're still putting in the energy, then you haven't failed because you have chosen where to go. So getting to understand the law of polarity. So knowing that there is two opposites, what does that help me to understand, right? So I'll tell you one thing. It helps you to choose where you want to go, right? Choose where you want to go, to decide and mean your decision with all of your heart, right? So if you decide, I'm going to start a business, right? And I'm talking about this first within the business world. I'm going to start a business, or maybe I'm going to make an investment, this kind of investment. It's very, very important to understand that, if you don't make that investment, then, if you don't stick with your decision to actually make that investment, then there is a life on the other side that's waiting for you, right? If you don't go for success, then there is a life that's opposite that is waiting for you, right? So getting to know that helps you to choose better. Think of it in terms of, let's say you're working for yourself, maybe you're an employee and you keep playing around, with the company resources, and maybe you choose to do, something else with your time. Again, you're making decisions and the impact, right? Those decisions are actually attracting exactly the opposite, right, into your life. So that's very important. And I'm saying attraction because this law, in part, and almost everything, works together with the law of attraction, right? So very, very, very important to remember, right? So it helps you to choose. It helps you to choose, which means I can choose where I want to go. It means I can choose the thoughts that I want to keep, right? I can choose the thoughts. And if it's difficult, then I'm going to work at it. I'm going to try to invest in the right material. I'm going to try and watch, enough personal development videos, to get me there, to teach me how to live there. If it's difficult, then you can learn it. Maybe you did not learn it, right? So very, very important to understand that the law of polarity can actually work for your good, but it can also do the opposite if you misuse it, right? And I said this law works together with the law of attraction, so very important. So when it comes to relationships, I think this is where I find this law really, really, really common, right? And we have very many cases within relationships, man and woman, right? And you've got people that are thinking that the feminine nature is actually weak, right? People think or identify it with weakness, and they come up with all of these ideas to lift up the feminine nature, but which is really ridiculous, because that's exactly what you need to build or to stay in a great relationship. That's exactly what you want, right? You want to be as feminine as you can, and yet your partner has to be as masculine as they can, right? Because those will now stay together, right? So because, again, of the law of attraction. So this is very important. When you remember this, you quit just trying, but you go for your goals, like I always say, as if you've got a gun to your head. You go for your goals regardless of what comes your way, and you never stop until you win. So very important to understand this law. I hope I've explained it in summary. First of all, it will help you to choose where you want to go. What do you want out of life? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be, right? And are you taking the steps? Remember that if you don't get there, then there's a life on the other side that's waiting for you, right? The opposite of that life is actually waiting for you. And if you can imagine, if you sit down and imagine the life that you want to live, right? Think about the life that you want to live, right? And all it takes is setting some goals and putting some action, right? And as simple as that, if you don't take the actions, right, then there is a life that's waiting for you on the other side. And trust me, you don't want to arrive on the other side. So it's very important. Choose wisely. Whatever you do, if you've decided to do something, maybe you've decided to follow a personal development program. Maybe it's health, program. Go for it regardless of how you feel, regardless of what happens, regardless. As long as you've decided, go for it. Because if you don't, then there is a life on the other side that's waiting for you. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Every Friday, I'll come up with more videos on the laws of the universe. And next Friday, we will cover law number 4. So don't miss them. Click the notifications bell so you don't miss any videos. And check the links in the description to watch the videos that were previous. Thank you very much. And I wish you a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful day. Bye.